what did you say just now? When I am
under pressure, I come up with solutions. I felt a bit under pressure with you two laughing.
Not me.
We laughed on
Yeah,
the
him laughing whenever I
Oh,
said
then it is good, Arun.
so.
Because,
Then I felt like improving. So.
oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Can I laugh at every video now?
Beautiful. That is, in fact, a great lot of people, listen, a great lot of people cannot perform when they are under pressure.
But you just have to go through it.
So it is very nice of you, Arun. So you can do extremely well when you are under pressure.
May I add another thing?
Yeah, of course.
I'd like to say that all the great people that have been on this earth, such as Galileo and all those people, they always came up with predictions and all these weird, they always come up with like weird discoveries. You wouldn't think it's true, and because of that they got punished. But eventually, if they kept trying and they got their message out there, and then eventually the people realized it was true, so then they realized what a mistake they had made. So just, they didn't even try to check if their predictions were real, but like in the end they were real. So they shouldn't assume that the other person is wrong just because they're one out of all the other people who think the other thing. I would like to add.
Why you wanted to add this point?
Pardon?
Why did you want to add this point?
Because I just think lots of people are under pressure and they should get their messages out there, all those solutions and all. Don't worry about what anyone else thinks, it's just what you believe in.
You are really very wonderful, Arun. Yes, you are talking like a real thinker. You are a thinker, right?
Yeah.
You think a lot?
What? What did you say? Yeah, I think a lot.
You think a lot, huh?
Yeah.
I see. When do you think?
Sometimes when I'm alone and just thinking, seeing a problem like poverty and all that, and then thinking about a solution. It's just random sometimes. And also sometimes when I'm like, I feel a bit
Where did you get the word random?
random.
Hmm.
Oh, I just heard it somewhere and I know what it means. It means like at no planned time, just randomly popping up. So like if you just think of something suddenly at a later time, then it might be
By the way, can you remember where did you get that word from? How you use that word to somebody?
if they're talking, this I use with my friends, but if they're talking very weirdly and saying like weird things at a very inconvenient or later time, then the subject was raised, then I tend to call it random, because like it has no association to do with what we're dealing with at the current time, so random.
Where did you get the word association?
Association I got from, we were doing some teamwork things in our camp, and the teacher said the word association I had never heard, and then she explained it. It means when people work together and it's like an association and they work together.
But right now you use the word association not in the context of people. But it is very beautiful. You learned that word association in the context of people. But right now you use it in the context of randomness. Randomness is a very brilliant idea. Think about that more.
Randomness.
Anyway, you love that concept, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, think about it more. Because a lot of things happen in this world are basically perhaps random because nobody can explain them. So if you think a lot about randomness, perhaps you can create a theory on randomness sometime in the future. Keep on thinking about that. Okay?
Okay.
So you want to say anything more?
Well, one thing on randomness. Just because something happens and it's very hard to believe, you have to prove yourself. You have to prove the theory is wrong if you are going to call them guilty of lying or something.
Guilty
Of lying. Because like people talk about UFOs and you might call them a liar. But you need to prove they are wrong. You need evidence. Always you need evidence to prove they are wrong. Otherwise you never know. There are so many things out there we don't understand, and in this world we still haven't discovered. You never know all the possibilities and all that. So yeah, the end.
You read a lot?
Not. I used to read like quite a lot, but now I read like
What kind of books you used to
average.
read?
About animals and plants and life of pi and all the survival stories.
You like survival stories, is it so?
Yeah, because like it helps me connect how to survive with my family. Life of pi interested me because there was the association of animals, and
Why do you think about family?
because your family will always love you, and sometimes they may be harsh on you, but you've got to adjust. Like as in Life of Pi, he adjusted to living with the animals, eating fish when he was, and meat and all that when he was vegetarian.
All right. So you have read a lot of survival stories, particularly.
Yeah.
Other than that, you have not read any books.
I've read a couple of books about dinosaurs, like prehistoric life, because I'm also interested in history, and also books about what's out there, all the planets and all.
You particularly select those books for reading?
Yeah, because I'm interested in those subjects because I'd like to know more about it.
When do you read it?
Sometimes I read them at the library at school, but other times I just take the books home and read them.
At what time?
Around, I don't know exact, but like
But,
around midday. That's when I'm most like.
You write also?
Yeah, I do write, but like I write mostly about all this fairy tales and all that.
What do you write?
About fairy tales.
What do you write? I mean, you also write another tale, or you write a commentary on that? What do you write?
No, I write the actual tale because.
You rewrite them into your book?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Even though you have the book, you will rewrite them into your
But
notebook.
you write a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about a new fairy tale.
New one and rewrite an old one.
But change things or keep it the same?
Sometimes change things, sometimes like new ones.
Then what else you are interested in?
I'm also interested in like
What do you want to become? Do you think about that?
marine biologist
Why do you say so?
because I'm interested in all the sea life, and I actually want to be one of the people that discovers a new fish or
Yeah,
something.
that's what. I mean, you want to become someone who discovers things. That is right. Right?
Yeah.
So that
Because-
can be in any field also.
Mm.
So you can discover new principles in randomness, for example.
Yeah.
So you are basically interested in discovering things,
Yeah.
right?
Discovery. Because I've always been I've always been wondering about like all the new things we haven't discovered, and I always think about the great people and their names are remembered in history for making big discoveries.
How many great people you have heard about?
I've heard about quite a lot, like
For
Galileo, Picasso, all these people.
Who
So,
told you all this?
sometimes I hear about them, and other times I
Hear
read
about
about
them from whom?
my teachers in history time, and sometimes I read about them in books.
So such historical people impress you a lot, right?
Yeah, they influenced me because they made big discoveries and their names were remembered. I don't want to be just like some random person who dies without having any remembrance or any connection or anything. I want to make like some discoveries to be remembered in history.
Yeah, quite possible. Because you have that tendency in you already. Because you talk like a potentially highly creative person. Okay? Good luck to you.
Okay, do you wanna go now?
What's the meaning of the word Arun?
Isn't it sun? Sun. And his name means rise. I find Arun a good name as the sun gives life to all, gives an ingredient basically to all life on earth. Like the plants need light, if the plants don't grow then the animals can't live. And
You are right.
yeah, so it's good to know that you have a name that actually means something than like a strange name that doesn't mean anything.
Of course, yes, of course.
The name might be a bit strange to other people from different countries, but at least in some languages.
This is my interview.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah. So, you have done very well in the interview. And I also predict that you will really discover something very significant, and you will be remembered for the discovery.